Hello, this is Miss Sods again. Um, so today we're going to talk about this text called Real Giants. This is a nonfiction text, or no fiction. What you need to know about nonfiction is it's a lot like a thunderstorm. How might you say? This is how. Thunderstorms pour out lots and lots of rain. Well, just like thunderstorms give us lots of rain, nonfiction texts give us lots and lots of facts. And so here's the tricky part about understanding nonfiction. We have to be able to distinguish or identify interesting facts and important facts. And we have to be able to separate the two. Obviously, what we're reading, the important details are the most important things, or detalles importantes. And then the interesting details are only things that we're going to make connections about. They're just to add something interesting to catch the reader's attention. Those are also known as detalles interesantes. And you're going to be able to connect the important details or key details back to a big idea or a central idea. Okay, also idea principal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this text. Now, obviously, the title's Real Giants, and the text feature over here, right here, is a picture of a tree with a car driving through it. So obviously, this is going to be a story or an article with lots of facts about really big trees. Okay, so as I'm reading, I'm going to make sure that the important details or the key details connect back to some sort of big idea, like the one that this article is about, the big trees. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a text box on the screen to help identify or distinguish between interesting details and important details. My interesting details are going to be labeled with an exclamation point, and my important details are going to be labeled with a star. So imagine a tree as wide as a car is long and as tall as a 25-story building. That is what you could expect to see if you were looking at one of the giant sequoias, the largest trees in the world. Already they're trying to capture our attention with some interesting details about these trees. These things are there to catch our attention, help us to make connections as to how big these trees really are, but they're not very important to the big idea. Then that last fact that we read about, that sequoia trees are the largest trees in the world, that is an important detail. So I'm going to put a star out next to that. Then I'm going to continue reading. Giant sequoias are found in the national parks of Central and Northern California. They average around 250 feet tall and 25 feet around. It would take you and 8 or 9 of your friends to join hands to wrap your arms around a giant sequoia. So again, I'm going to use my little tools here to identify and distinguish the important details from the interesting ones. So the first important detail for this paragraph is about where they're found. This is definitely linked back to those giant trees, and it's something that's important that I need to know. And then the second important detail is that they average around 250 feet tall and 25 feet around. Again, that is directly related to the fact that our topic is giant trees. So that just gives us the specifics on how big those trees really are. And then that very last sentence is, again, just an interesting detail to keep your interest and make you want to keep reading. All right, so out beside that, I'm going to go ahead and take those two paragraphs that I have just finished coding with my stars and my exclamation points, to differentiate between the interesting details and the important details. And I'm going to connect those important details back to a key or central idea. And that big idea for these two paragraphs is that Sequoia trees are very big. And I can continue to do this with the rest of the text. I can continue reading and differentiating between the interesting details and the important details, and then taking those important details and connecting them back to a big idea. And you can do the same thing.